Attention passionate Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now. I know a lot of you have been following the Seahawks closely, and there's some electrifying news coming out that could totally reshape the dynamics of the NFC West, and more importantly, the Seahawks' future prospects. We've got a potential blockbuster trade on the horizon, and it involves none other than Quinnen Williams, the interior disruptor from the New York Jets. That's right, folks. The buzz is pointing towards a mega trade. Williams, who's been making waves as one of the most dominant defensive tackles in the league, possibly heading to Seattle, and the Jets are in the mix to send him over in exchange for some valuable draft capital. Let's break down what's happening here. The Jets, currently sitting at a disappointing 1-6, are in full rebuild mode. After a tumultuous start to the season, especially with the chaos following Aaron Rodgers' injury, they're making strategic moves to reshape their roster. Williams, who's been a cornerstone inside for the Jets, is reportedly the centerpiece of this overhaul. The Jets are looking to free up cap space, especially considering their $8 million cap hit this season, and they're prioritizing rebuilding their offensive line after allowing an average of 30 points per game. It's clear that they're betting on the future, possibly looking to acquire draft picks from the Seahawks, who are currently 4-3 and sitting comfortably in the playoff hunt. This potential trade isn't just about filling a roster hole. It's about shifting the balance of power in the NFC West and signaling the Seahawks' aggressive approach to contend. Quinnen Williams, as many of you know, is a game changer. He's a force in the middle, a player who can control gaps and disrupt plays before they develop. His impact on the field is undeniable. In 2023-24, he's been named an All-Pro, and he's showing why with his relentless pressure. Just this season, he's recorded 28 pressures and 3 sacks, with a PFF grade of 83.4. That's elite production. His EPA per run of -0.13 and 8 tackles for loss demonstrate his ability to be a disruptive force on every down. What makes Williams so valuable, especially for the Seahawks? Well, for starters, his ability to strengthen a defensive line that's been a bit shaky lately. Seattle's defensive front has been decent, ranking 17th in pressures, but with Williams in the mix, that number could skyrocket. He's a player who can plug gaps, set the edge, and allow the Seahawks to be more aggressive in their pass rush. And let's not forget, he's been remarkably durable, minimal injuries this season with only a few minor issues in the past. His career stats are impressive. Over 350 pressures, 42 sacks, and 180 tackles. He's a disruptive force similar to Aaron Donald, capable of transforming a defense. Now, why would the Jets be willing to part with such a talent? Well, the chaos after Rodgers' injury has left the team scrambling. They're trying to shed cap and rebuild quickly. Trading Williams, who carries a $19 million cap hit for draft picks, makes sense for them right now. They're looking to rebuild their roster, especially their offense, which has struggled with 22 interceptions this season, and they're focusing on acquiring young quarterbacks or additional draft capital to do so. The Jets' management is setty about the trade, but it's a bold move that could weaken their interior defensive line temporarily. Still, if they get the right picks, it's a gamble worth taking. For the Seahawks, this trade could be a game changer. Imagine Williams slotting into their defensive line, elevating their run defense dramatically. Currently, Seattle allows about 3.7 yards per rush, which is serviceable but could be so much better with a player of Williams' caliber. His presence would likely increase their run-stop rate by over 200 yards allowed over the season, and he'd boost their sack numbers to around 1.5 per game. That's a significant leap, giving Seattle a more formidable front seven. With Williams controlling the interior, teams will find it harder to establish the run, and it'll open up opportunities for the edge rushers, like D.O. and others, to get after the quarterback. This is especially crucial with the injuries the Seahawks are dealing with at the edge, where players like Tarek Woolen and others have been trying to fill gaps. And looking at the bigger picture, the playoff implications are huge. Williams isn't just a run-stopping machine. He's a playoff plug-in, someone who can make a difference in the high-stakes moments. If the Seahawks add him, they could see a boost of over 10 turnovers, more pressure on opposing quarterbacks, especially inside, and a more balanced, fearsome defense that can adapt to different offenses. His ability to stuff the run and generate interior pressure is reminiscent of some of the best defensive tackles in recent league history, and it would give Seattle a real shot at making a deep playoff run once again. In fact, the odds could shift significantly. Right now, Seahawks fans, you know the team's Super Bowl odds are around plus 4,500, but with a move like this, those odds could improve dramatically, maybe down to plus 2,100 or even better, especially if Williams becomes a key piece in the playoff push. Imagine the Seahawks facing the 49ers in the postseason with a revamped front that can handle their powerful rushing attack and pressure their quarterback into mistakes. It's a strategic shift that could define the entire NFC landscape. Of course, this move isn't just about immediate impact, it's about setting the tone for the future. The Seahawks have been building steadily, and acquiring a player like Williams shows they're not just content with competing, they want to dominate. It's reminiscent of the 90s revivals when teams made bold moves to reestablish themselves as contenders. And Seattle fans, you know the passion runs deep when your team goes all in. With a front that's now anchored by Williams, the Seahawks could be looking at a sustained period of dominance in the NFC West and beyond. A player like him can be a catalyst, transforming the way the defense plays and inspiring the entire team to elevate their game. Looking at the overall league picture, other teams have made similar moves, like trading for defensive tackles to bolster their line. Think of the Suh trade back in 2018, which boosted his team's odds by plus 2,000. Now, with Williams potentially coming to Seattle, the Seahawks could be positioning themselves to challenge the NFC Giants, especially the 49ers, who have been dominant this season. An interior disruptor like Williams could be the missing piece that allows Seattle to take that next step and truly compete at the highest level. So, what does all this mean for Seahawks fans? Well, it's an exciting time. This could be the kind of move that sparks a new era, one where the Seahawks are not just playoff contenders but serious Super Bowl challengers. It's about building a front seven that can dictate games, control the line of scrimmage, and make life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. It's about adding a versatile, disruptive player who's seen as a cornerstone for years to come. And if this trade happens, it will send shockwaves across the league, signaling that Seattle is back in the game with a clear, aggressive vision for future success. Of course, it's still a developing story, and we'll be watching closely to see how the negotiations unfold. But one thing is for certain, a move like this could redefine the Seahawks' defense, boost their playoff chances, and set the stage for a future that's even brighter than what we've seen so far. It's a testament to the team's commitment to winning, to making bold moves when it matters most, and to building a roster that can compete with the best. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you believe Williams can be the game changer that propels Seattle to new heights? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. This is a roller coaster ride, and we're just getting started. Thanks for being here, and as always, go Seahawks.